Chapter 2. Voice Integrity. The following Monday, I kindly occupied the top 2 floors of a renovated cannery in Jack London Square, inside the kind of adaptive reuse fantasy investors adored because it made capital sound civic-minded. The lobby smelled of cedar, coffee, and expensive cleaning products. In the elevator, a screen displayed one of our rotating brand affirmations over slow footage of wind in coastal grass. Hard things said better. The week before, legal had made us remove together. Apparently, the word exposed us to interpretive risk. My title was Senior Voice Integrity Lead, which meant when the software drafted something embarrassing or bloodless, I decided whether the problem was language, ethics, or simply the customer. I'd started as a copywriter after my agency lost 3 major clients in 1 quarter and replaced us with a workflow suite. Introduced by a man in white sneakers announcing the future of creativity was orchestration. I was 38, recently dumped by a documentary editor who needed a less administrative love, paying Bay Area rent with the particular determination of someone who'd once believed talent would eventually lower shelter costs. Kindly had seemed temporary. Temporary, in California, is how respectable traps began. Our office had no cubicles, because hierarchy now preferred to disguise itself as furniture. There were moss walls, curved banquettes, acoustic pods named after emotional states, and a meditation room that had once been a supply closet and still looked it. People moved through it all with the purposeful mildness of employees who knew they were lucky by current standards, and therefore obliged to describe themselves as energized. Some were genuinely lovely. Some were monsters in good knitwear. Most were both, depending on the quarter. Nadia was waiting for me in Hush, one of the smaller conference rooms, with a deck open on the wall and a matcha the color of responsible envy. She was 46, immaculate, and had the composure of women who'd outworked whole ecosystems without relinquishing the right lipstick. Her parents were school teachers from Fresno, which she mentioned when founders confused poise with inherited money. "You wrote useful notes," she said as I sat. Owen especially liked the line about companionship without hauntology. "That sounds like something nobody should ever have to say in a restaurant," I told her. "And yet we are funded." She clicked to the next slide. After light, continuity with care. Beneath it, bullet points bloomed in the neutral confidence of language, designed to survive scrutiny by never approaching life too closely. Memory-informed conversation. Reassuring presence architecture. Family-safe pacing. "Here's the problem," Nadia said. "The product works just well enough to excite rich people, and just badly enough to alarm everyone else. We need to decide what story it tells before Owen takes it on stage." "Is it mercy?" I asked. Nadia gave me the look she reserved for questions that were either naive or expensive. "It is inevitable. The question is whether we sound less obscene than the competitors." That was the moral baseline at Kindly, and, to be fair, in most sectors now. We were not trying to be saints. We were trying to be the least disreputable adults in a room full of forecasts. Our main competitors? A memorial bot company from Austin run by 2 brothers who referred to death as the largest untapped vertical in human trust, and a Seattle startup that had trained an avatar and a dead composer and wanted grieving widows to subscribe to monthly check-ins. Against them, Kindly could plausibly regard itself as thoughtful. We had a policy team. We said no to dictators. We'd once turned down a wellness influencer who wanted an apology generator for forgetting his children's names during live streams. Owen Grafton joined us halfway through, carrying a bowl of grapes as if bearing sacrament. He'd founded Kindly after his father died, and the family group text spent 3 days generating accidental injuries through poor coordination. This origin story appeared in every major profile, usually with Owen gazing through a window while contemplating humane systems. In person, he was tall, soft-spoken, and so fully at ease with his own moral charm you felt mean noticing it. "June," he said, lowering himself into a chair, "I've been thinking about your mother. That seems ominous. Not in a predatory way. That's a sentence best spoken before lawyers arrive." He smiled patiently. People mistook patience for goodness. Entire industries had been built inside that error. "You understand the line between solace and simulation," he said. You understand stakes. We need that. Afterlight can't be a novelty for techno-necromancers. It has to feel like a service for families who are drowning. I almost laughed. Not that families didn't drown, it was that every man in software eventually reached the phase where he explained water to women who'd been carrying buckets for years. Instead, I asked what he wanted from me. Voice doctrine, Nadia said. Category language, launch narrative, and oversight on a small internal training corpus, human examples only, high trust inputs. The model needs better grief texture. It is possible, even now, to identify the second in which a life makes a cleaner moral shape in memory than it did while living it. If you asked me later when I should have stood up and walked out, I might tell you it was there, in hush, beneath the moss panel and unreasonable grapes. But the truth is less flattering. My first thought was insurance. My second was my mother's medication. My third was that if someone was going to put a leash on the ghouls, it might as well be me. If there is a respectable way to sell anything, America will spend 40 years mistaking the respectability for ethics. From my notes app, unsent. By lunchtime, I'd accepted the promotion. They gave me a raise, stock options whose eventual value would be determined by the mood swings of strangers, and a new budget line for external voice consultants. My mother, when I told her that night, said only, "So they're paying you more to stand closer to the blast radius." Then she asked whether the dental plan had improved.